In every war, the first thing to die is the truth. Headlines scream, alarms ring out, children run, and we are left to guess who started it, who's right, who is wrong, who is human. In this video, let's not try to answer these questions. Let's ask better ones. What you are about to see includes facts from both sides. Some may be distorted, disputed, or incomplete. Because in the fog of war, even facts wear uniforms. But what stays true is the pain, the pattern, the price paid by ordinary people. This is not about taking sides. This is about looking at what war has done to Gaza, to Israel, and to the idea of home. Gaza isn't just a strip of land, it's a cage of 2.3 million people, surrounded by sea, walls, and war. Since 2008, Israel has launched 5 major military operations here. Each one promised to silence the rockets. Each one left behind silence in a different kind. Operation Cast Lead. Over 1,300 Palestinians dead. Protective Age 2014. 2,200 killed, 500,000 displaced. 2023 and beyond, over 57,000 dead. 80% of the victims are innocent civilians. Streets turned to dust. Hospitals turned to morgues. Water runs out. Medicine dries up. And hope evaporates. Gaza isn't just bombed, it's broken. And no one knows what tomorrow smells like. But rockets fly both ways. From Gaza, thousands of projectiles have screamed into Israeli skies since 2001. Israeli civilians had already lived under fire for over 2 decades. Since the early 2000s, suicide bombings, shootings, and rockets from Gaza and the West Bank have killed hundreds of Israelis. During 2000 to 2005, during the Second Intifada, nearly 700 civilians lost their lives in attacks across Israel. Between 2004 and 2021, rockets and mortars fired from Gaza killed dozens more, in homes, on roads, and in playgrounds. In May 2021 alone, over 4,000 rockets were fired at Israeli cities. 13 civilians were killed, including children and foreign workers. By the time Hamas stormed the border in 2023, Israeli families had already been burying their loved ones for 20 years. Their fear wasn't new, it had simply become routine. October 7, 2023 changed everything. Militants broke through fences, shot civilians, took hostages. A music festival became a massacre. Homes became hunting grounds. Over 1,200 Israelis killed in a single day. Some burned, some tortured, some disappeared. 250 hostages, children, elders, tourists, caregivers. For Israel, this wasn't just terror. It was a wound that whispered, "You are never safe." And in that whisper came war. Gaza is not a battlefield, it's a neighborhood, and wars in neighborhoods don't end when guns stop. they leave ghosts. Ghosts of children who never made it to school. Ghosts of weddings that became funerals. The bombs don't just hit fighters, they hit dining rooms, classrooms, playgrounds. 70% of Gaza's infrastructure is gone. 1 in 2 people has no clean water. 1 in 3 children may not survive hunger. Aid is blocked. Banks are shut. Doctors are powerless. Parents are helpless. War doesn't come and go. In Gaza, war moves in and stays. Israel's strikes are aimed at Hamas, but why do so many civilians die? The answer lies in shadows and tunnels. Hamas hides beneath homes, beneath schools. They build rocket launchers near mosques. They use human shields, sometimes by force. It's not just a tactic, it's a strategy. More civilian deaths mean the more international outrage. The more outrage, the more foreign aid. And while ordinary people suffer, top Hamas leaders live in comfort, far from war zone, watching the fire from mansions in Qatar or bunkers underground. Israel drops leaflets, makes phone calls, but how do you evacuate when you have nowhere to go? Gaza is one of the densest places on earth, and war doesn't knock before coming. AI now helps Israel pick targets. But algorithms doesn't see tears, and so even when war aims carefully, fear spreads without precision.
אם לא תשחררו את חטופינו, יהיו לכך השלכות שאתם לא יכולים לדמיין.
In Gaza, pain doesn't stay silent. It grows teeth and memory. For every child who buries a sibling, a seed is planted. For every home demolished, a woe is whispered. And that is the cycle. Violence breeds fear. Fear breeds hate. Hate breeds more rockets. Amal was 5 years old. Her name means hope in Arabic. In May 2021, during an Israeli airstrike in Gaza, her family's apartment was hit. Her parents, 2 brothers, and her baby sister were all killed. Amal was pulled from the rubble, the only survivor. A photo showed her wrapped in dust and blood, crying out for her mother. She didn't know her entire world has gone. Journalists called her the girl who lost everyone. But in Gaza, there are many Amals. Noah Agramani was 25, a university student. She went to a music festival with her boyfriend near the Gaza border. When Hamas militants attacked, Noah was kidnapped. Caught on video screaming, "Don't kill me." She was taken into Gaza on the back of a motorcycle. For over 8 months, she was held hostage. No sunlight, no phone, no freedom. Her mother, dying of cancer, begged to see her one last time. In June 2024, Israeli forces rescued Noah. She came home to find her mother was gone. The Iron Dome protects Israel, but it cannot shield hearts. The blockade strangles Gaza, but it cannot suffocate rage. Who owns this land? Who belongs here? The truth depends on the century, on the map, on the blood. Palestinians say, "We are the native sons. We were here when olives first grew." Israeli says, "We returned home after 2000 years of exile." 2 histories, two traumas, two truths, colliding like tectonic plates. Every peace talk fails, not just because of politics, but because both sides feel like the land owes them. But who draws the map? And who decides where it ends? Before we end, let's pause, not to judge, but to look deeper. This isn't just a land war, it's two wounds clashing. Palestinians remember the Nakba, the loss of home in 1948. Israelis carry the Holocaust in their bones, a memory of gas chambers, silence, and exile. Both people grew up with a lesson. They want to erase us. Gaza has been under blockade for nearly 2 decades. Food, water, fuel, all controlled. Israel says it's for security. Palestinian says we are being strangled. Who is right when fear and hunger stare at each other? Jews were homeless for 2000 years, scattered, killed, expelled. So when they returned, they believe this is our land. But Palestinians were already here. Their olive trees, their villages, their memories. And they ask, why should we lose our land for someone else's tragedy? Can two truths fit inside one border? In the West, headlines often say Israel attacked. In the Arab world, it's Gaza suffered. Cameras choose angles. Algorithms choose outrage. But what we don't see also bleeds. International law says don't target civilians, protect aid, allow life. But civilians are dying, aid is blocked, cities are ashes. The UN speaks, the world watches, but the guns keep firing. Hamas fires rockets, builds tunnels under schools, but Hamas is not every Palestinians. And Israel bombs neighborhoods, not always militants. Rockets bring fire, airstrikes bring fury. But in between, there is a child with no flag. One state, two state, no state. So many plans, so many failures. Because peace isn't just about borders, it's about trust. And right now, trust is extinct. They started it. They deserved it. These are not answers. These are excuses to stop thinking. In truth, no one side owes all the pain or all the blame. Peel away the history, the politics, the headlines, then what is left? A mother searching for a son. A father carrying rubble instead of a backpack. A child asking, why do they hate us? That's what war forgets. People. Let's end this, not with blame, but with a question. If the British come from Britain, the Chinese from China, the Indians from India, the Arabs from Arabia, then where do the Jewish people come from? They have their own language, their own scripture, their own scars. Expelled, scattered, hunted, yet always returning in prayer, in longing. Is Israel their home or someone else's memory? Is Gaza a prison or someone else's revenge? And if two people bleed on the same soil, can that soil still grow peace? Maybe the question isn't who is right. Maybe the question is, how many children must die before right and wrong stop mattering? In Gaza, in Israel, it's the mother who bury truth and the children who inherit the silence. No side wins a war. Only graves do.